Hello, I'm Jordyn LaBarge. Welcome to TMN Television on Thursday, September 24th. Tonight, we take a look at how the city is dealing with students returning amidst the pandemic and the scholarship renewal process. These stories and more tonight on TMN Television. You don't want to miss this. As students return to Kirksville for the academic year, businesses in the community are affected. Reporter Enes Al-Hassani interviewed City Mayor Zach Burden, Take Root Executive Director William Robb, and Leisure World Manager Tim McKeel about the impact students have.
Students mean so much to this community. Students aren't a permanent fixture of this community, but having students in this community is a permanent fixture. It's a huge impact to for example, our economy. It's an impact for what housing looks like. It's an impact to traffic patterns and how we utilize public utilities. It's a huge impact when it comes to employment in the community, our tax base. The students represent a large share of what goes on in this community. Our students bring a lot of life and vitality to what happens in this community. They partner well with the people who do live here on a permanent full-time basis. They're an important contributor to vital services that happen. Truman students in particular participate in all kinds of community service that really makes the happenings of the city work here. Our students really bring a sense of vitality to this community.
We usually have between 300 and 400 volunteers every year.
Wow.
And I would say a good majority of those are college students, either from A.T. Still University or from Truman. We had there's a lot of great service organizations over at Truman, so we have the organizations typically sign up for a weekly shift, and they'll send 2 or 3 people over every week. We have 5 front of house staff, and I believe 2 of them are Truman students.
Okay.
Actually, we just hired another one, a 3rd one, Liam. So at least half, if not more, of our customers are students.
Okay.
I think people have found this as a good place to study. Another way that we work with students is we have internships, so or students completing their capstone project.
I would say students in general just are a bigger contributor to our business. In the fall, when the session's in business, we do see quite a big increase in business. I'd say at least 25% would be from Truman students. Every year we've had a Truman Bowl Club that comes out, and we help sponsor them, I guess, because we give them a really nice discount, and they come out and bowl about 8 times through each semester, and we've had them probably the last 7 years now. Also, we do get a lot of events for fraternities, for parents' weekends, and skating events that we do for rush events and everything else as well.
Build Up Bulldogs is a new way to publicly share a positive, uplifting message. As campus nears the halfway point of this unusual semester, this is a great way to show each other support. Starting on September 21st, encouragement can be shared by tagging Truman State on Facebook using hashtag BuildUpBulldogs on Instagram or Twitter, and submitting it online. Messages can be general words of encouragement or recognize a specific person or organization. They will be shown on the university's social media wall and from the October 5th through 8th, and will be projected onto the clock tower from 7 to 10 p.m. Truman State University will host an in-person commencement ceremonies on November 21st for students who are scheduled to graduate at the end of fall 2020 semester. Only graduates and a small delegation of the university representatives will be attending in person. Graduates will not be able to bring guests with them due to the restrictions on large gatherings, but the guests will be able to watch the event live on YouTube. To safely accommodate the graduating class while social distancing, there will be 2 ceremonies. The first ceremony will be for the Bachelor of Science candidates at 10 a.m., and the second ceremony will be for the candidates receiving master's degree or Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Since in-person classes will conclude before Thanksgiving break, commencement is moved up from its originally scheduled date of December 12th for the convenience of graduates and the general safety and well-being of the entire community. By hosting the event early, Graduating students and their families will not have to return later in the year, which will also limit the number of people traveling to and from Kirksville, lessening the possibility of exposure to and the spread of the coronavirus. Reporter Daniel Harper interviewed Director of Financial Aid, Marla Fernandez, and the Truman student, William Brenzen, about scholarship requirements and expectations for this school year.
Truman State University has several scholarship opportunities, both competitive and automatic. Scholarships over $1,500 have specific renewal requirements that have to be met if students want to continue to receive the same amount. In addition to the automatic GPA requirement, students have a service obligation that they have to fill. Students have to complete 58 hours of a scholarship job here at Truman to continue to receive the same amount every year. Some students have had issues with this process, and students that have lower scholarships sometimes choose not to complete this process.
The fact, honestly, that I applied for probably like 10 to 12 jobs and just had not received any word back, and the fact that, honestly, Truman doesn't help you find a job. It's not that they don't help you find a job, it's that they don't explain the system well enough, you know what I mean? They just kind of tell you to do it, which I guess, since we're in college, we're supposed to be adults or whatever. But in my personal opinion, it just, I don't know, I feel like you don't get enough support from Truman, and the fact that I couldn't even find a job even after applying for just so many, and the fact that it was nearing the school year, I just decided that it was, just wasn't worth it.
Marla Fernandez, the director of the Office of Financial Aid, says that the Financial Aid Office sends out an email every April reminding students of the process to renew their scholarships. The first step is to fill out an I-9 and a W-4 with the payroll office if you haven't worked for the university before. We have an interview with Marla Fernandez detailing the rest of the steps of the scholarship renewal process.
And then they would secure a scholarship position on campus, or there are some off-campus positions available as well. A lot of people will look on truepositions.truman.edu and also contact any academic departments or administrative offices to see if there's any scholarship jobs available. But most of them will be posted on the True Positions website. And then once they've secured a position, then they would go online to TrueView and do the Renew Scholarship online. And there are many students who have that completed in the spring semester by the end of that spring semester for the next academic year. So it's all taken care of. And for those who haven't gotten that done and we haven't received information, we send out reminders over the summer to let them know what still needs to be done so that their scholarship can get applied in the fall.
Fernandez also talked about other scholarship opportunities. She said that the Financial Aid Office will try and keep students up to date on potential scholarships like the Foundation scholarships, and also recommended that students check out Truman Today to make sure they're up to date on all potential scholarships. She recommends that students check out whether or not they're available and then apply if they can. She also says that students should fill out the FAFSA every year to make sure that students are getting as much financial aid as they can in a given year. Students can visit the Financial Aid Office at McLean Hall 103, or they can contact them by email at finaid@truman.edu.
Universities across the state have been keeping up with COVID-19 guidelines as they attempt to keep students on campus. Schools are working closely with the CDC in order to assure safe measures for students, including face coverings, social distancing, and daily self-checking for symptoms. For more on how universities across Missouri are handling COVID-19, check out university websites for information such as protocols, guidelines, confirmed cases, and more. COVID does not have much of an effect on enrollment numbers for Missouri colleges this year. Truman State University's projected enrollment number was not met for the fall 2020 semester, whereas the University of Missouri and Lindenwood University are both up 4%. Missouri State University is down 3%, and Missouri S&T is down 7%. Starting this semester, Sodexo and Dining Services began offering new takeout options for students in single-use styrofoam containers. Noticing that these containers should be an issue, Truman State University Sustainability Office started a petition to switch to a more sustainable option. Sodexo General Manager John Stewart's solution, a biodegradable, compostable container. Stewart says Sodexo is very sustainable as far as trying to reduce their carbon footprint, so it wasn't an intentional thing to use styrofoam. Even though the switch is a good first step, to recycle the containers, students must wash them out and go to the Sustainability Office in Violet Hall 1310. Stay tuned after the break for a Truman weather forecast with Daniel Harper.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today, we're looking at sunny weather with a high of 78 and a low of 55. Moving into tomorrow, we'll keep up that sunny weather with a high of 84 and a low of 61. We'll move into the weekend, get some partly cloudy weather with a high of 85 and a low of 61. We'll move into Sunday and keep up that partly cloudy weather with a high of 78 and a low of 52. The next week's going to bring some partly cloudy weather all week with decreasing temperatures as the week goes on. Monday, we'll be looking at a high of 74 with a low of 53. Going into Tuesday, we'll see a high of 68 with a low of 47, and colder temperatures on Wednesday with a high of 62 and a low of 42. And then next Thursday, we'll be seeing a high of 60 with a low of 41. We're really seeing that fall weather start up. This has been your Truman weather forecast. Stay tuned after the break.
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you, but the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Many of Truman State University's athletic teams' championships have been moved to the spring semester amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. This includes football, volleyball, and men's soccer, among others. Some teams have only now begun meeting up and practicing while following social distancing guidelines and wearing masks. For some sports, like volleyball, which is played indoors, that simply isn't possible. Championships for these sports are planned to be played in the spring, though this is dependent on the state of the coronavirus pandemic and recommendations from the CDC in January. This has been your Truman Sports Update.
Your voice, your vote. In our democracy, they matter. Make yours count. Get registered, learn the issues, and vote by or on November 3rd. Visit vote411.org. This message is furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
TMN Television is undergoing a rebrand. Check out our future shows for the reveal of our new name and logo. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. For complete news coverage, be sure to stay tuned to KTRM, pick up a copy of the Index, and look at Detours Magazine's latest adventure online. Don't forget to also check out our news content on tmn.truman.edu. You can also follow TMN on Facebook and Twitter for breaking news updates. And if you missed part of our broadcast tonight, check out TMN TV on YouTube. If you ever thought about being on TV, be sure to head on over to tmn.truman.edu/apply to fill out an application today. From all of us here at TMN, thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of the week.